What out, chaps? How the devil? Hung over Bootneck today. Little bit paranoid, sweaty and paranoid. You know how it goes. Yeah, I'm getting too old for this boozing nonsense. I never used to get paranoid. Now I'm like, the police are after me. Even though I'm relatively certain I didn't do anything highly illegal last night, I am convinced the authorities are after me today. Weird that, innit? Sounds much better. Yeah, I updated Logitech, the software, so it's working. It's working all right. Chris Lockie's on. How you doing, Chris? All right, mate. Good to see you again. Right. Slightly low energy today because I'm hungover. I'll try to manifest some rage. I'm sure it will occur naturally as soon as I start reading the BBC. Did I touch base with the Rev? Regarding what, Ragnar? I've talked to him a few times, but I don't know about a specific issue. If there is, I'm sure he'll message me. Susan is after me. Yes, she is. Yes, she is, the fucking harpy. Right, I think Boris Johnson is about done, isn't he? Despite my efforts to keep him around, because I feel like it's some nefarious scheme to fucking stick us back in the European Union. It looks like he is in the shit now. It's just the unending controversies about him. They're not going away, are they? They just keep coming. The drip feeding them, which again is sort of annoying because we knew this was the case. Like I said, they've known about this issue for years, and only now are they choosing to release it. So obviously, you have to be cynical about this and think the whole thing is being the machinations of the political elite who didn't want us to leave the European Union. What we're wearing these for? I don't actually need them, do I? Because I'm not listening to anything. Quite clearly, the machinations behind the scenes of the elites who wanted us to stay in the European Union are too powerful for the likes of me and thee to stand against. And this constant drip of information. I mean, we know it's drip feeding, like I said, because this is an issue that the powers that be have known about for 2 years, and only now are they choosing to release it. And they're slowly dripping it every fucking day to the point. I mean, there was another one today, right, about him drinking champagne. Oh, he's next to a bottle of champagne. It's quite clearly being leaked, gradually drip feeding us, so they can just make a new controversy every fucking week. And as a result of that, I don't think he's long for the fucking Premiership anymore, is he? And there's nothing we can do about it. You have to hope that whoever replaces him is aware of the public feeling regarding Brexit, and isn't simply playing to the woke elites that surround them in the capital. Because I think this is the real issue we've got here: is Boris Johnson and all of the people that run the country. They really are London-centric in a way that sort of beggars belief. Because your mandate comes from your voters. And when we vote for Conservatives. The clue's in the title. The referendum, the way Boris Johnson behaves, you would think that we lost the referendum. You would think that 17.4 million people voted to stay in the fucking European Union, and not the other way around. It's really, really strange. And I can only assume it is that sort of London-centric mentality whereby the people around them in the capital don't have the fingers on the pulse of the voting public. They just listen to the opinions of people in London. And it's dead weird. Because the mandate comes from the elections. The mandate comes from the referendums. I don't understand how you can see the mood of the nation in the ballot box, but when they're in power, they pander to the London-centric BBC journalist types, and they're not the ones who put you in the fucking 10 Downing Street. This is what I've talked about with Trump many times. I don't understand why they won't pander to the base. Trump pandered to his base. He knew what his base liked, and he did what they told him. Boris Johnson refuses to play to his base. He spent the last 2 years desperately trying to win over people who despise him and will always despise him. They don't like Boris Johnson. The woke will never like Boris Johnson. It doesn't matter how far to the left he goes. They will always hate him because of his name, because of his background, because of the name of his party. So I wish I could have elucidated this to somebody who's in a position of power, but it doesn't matter how woke Boris Johnson acts. They will never like him, and they will never vote for him, and they will never support him. So he needs to deep six the idea that he can win them over and just play to his base. Again, why do people like me need to point this out? Is there not anybody with any political nuance around the Prime Minister who can just point this out to him? You win by playing to your base. Boris Johnson is woke. Or he at least pretends to be. Griff said he is woke. There, Johnson is woke. Is he though? This is the thing. Is he? Is a millionaire Oxbridge twat really woke? Because think about this. He's been in politics for years and he's never been woke. Joe Biden. I mean, by that logic, is Joe Biden woke? He can't be. He's been in politics for his whole life. You can't have an opinion for 70 years and then start doing the opposite of it in the last 2 and expect it to be believable. Boris Johnson is not a fucking woke person. He's a political creature like Biden. But I mean, seriously, do you think Biden's woke? 40 fucking years in politics. He's never been woke. He's always been a fucking middle of the road, centrist, capitalist fucking wimp. He's not woke. He's just pandering to the woke. I suppose that's a good point. It's that he is woke, just not politically correct, and that makes you think he's base. That's probably a good point. It's a fine line to walk, isn't it? Making the occasional politically incorrect comment doesn't mean that you're not left wing. You can be, right? Look at the comedians. All the comedians are fucking woke. I think nearly all of them. The only one that isn't is that baldy bastard. What's he called? Lee Hurst. I think he's the only one I can think of. Almost all of them are woke because they're in the entertainment industry, and that's just the way of it. The industry is woke, and the people that do it for a living are woke. You have natural left-wing leanings if you're an entertainer, don't you? It's the way they are. You don't buy Alan Shearer and play him at left back. That is a fucking good comment. Yeah. Lunacy, isn't it? Lunacy. But and that's what I'm saying. It's a strange time to be alive. I really do not understand it. I do not understand how. What would be the phrase? Leah's not bad, yeah. I'm saying I don't understand how we had a referendum, we had a vote, the people make the feelings known all the time, and the political elites still insist on being woke. It's almost enough to make you into a conspiracy theorist, isn't it? Because it's like, I mean, think about that. The British public have been aggressively, like openly and nakedly anti-immigration for like 30 years. But it doesn't matter what you vote for, you still get it. So it does make you think the conspiracy theorists are onto something. Doesn't matter what you ask for, this is what you get. For 30 years, in every fucking poll, the British public has said, yeah, we should slow down immigration. We should have less people coming in. There's loads of fucking working class people that need a job. We shouldn't be importing working class people without college educations. Which is, again, what anybody who's normal working class bloke knows, right? Normal working class blokes who didn't go to an Oxbridge University, they really do get the jobs taken by migrants. This is a fiction. Again, it's so fucking well known. It's a total fiction, and it doesn't even make sense on a logic basis that there is an endless supply of jobs because everything's finite yeah, except the fucking universe, right? We're always dealing with finite numbers. There's a finite amount of space and there's a finite number of jobs. And if all the vast majority of people that come are low skilled, then our own working class are losing the jobs. The sort of South Park left wing meme, you know, like, hey, taking their jabs, as if it's a piss take. That is happening. There is only a finite amount of unskilled or low skilled jobs. And if we keep importing 500,000 people every fucking year, they are going to take some. So there's a finite number. They haven't come to work. This is true to an extent. Some are just taking the piss, but it's not all of them, right? It's I don't know, 50-50. There's a lot of them who just take the piss, but there is a lot who come to work. You can't say the Polish haven't worked hard. You know, nearly every Polish bloke I've met was at work. They do work, but it's irrelevant whether they work or whether they're an economic migrant just purely existing on benefits, like fucking loads of them are. It's irrelevant, isn't it? Even if they all worked, it's still a finite amount of jobs for a finite number of people. And the idea that it isn't is a fucking fantasy. I just don't understand it. No matter who you vote for, the government always gets in. Yeah, that's good. It is mad. It is mad. Like I said, we're not allowed to dissent, are we? It is. It started to turn me into a conspiracy theorist, just like everybody else, because they don't care what you think or what you say. You get what you're given. And like I've said, the UK is not a free country. If you are labouring under the delusion that the UK is a free country, just read about the things they can arrest you for. Being mean. They can arrest you for being mean, like state-mandated politeness. They only have that in North Korea and fucking China. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to say shit about Mao. You're not allowed to talk shit about Kim Jong. We now have that in the UK. You can't be rude to politicians. That James Goddard, when he was having a pop at Anna Soubry, all he did was chanted Anna Soubry is a Nazi because she spent the last 2 years calling everybody who voted for fucking Brexit a Nazi. And he got arrested for it. Trumped up charges. Tony Romo, let's not start on Tony Romo, but trumped up charges. It's trumped up charges. You're not free. And that's a fucking fact. If you think you're free, you're delusional. I'll let the polls and some people. Fair enough. Anyway, shall we do some news? I'll do one a day because I am seriously fighting a man's hangover. Boris Johnson's leadership has passed the point of no return. Now the big boys are pulling out as well, and when the money starts going, you're in the shit. Boris Johnson's premiership has passed the point of no return. He should resign, a financier who has given the Conservatives more than £3 million says. John Armitage told the BBC the challenges facing the West demanded serious, engaged politicians. He's given the Tories more than 500 grand since Mr Johnson became the PM, but donated £12,500 last year to Labour. At least he's trying to balance the scales. A Conservative spokesman said the government remained fully focused on delivering for the British. Bollocks, 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 bollocks. On Tuesday, Mr Johnson carried out a mini reshuffle of his cabinet as he attempts to reconnect with MPs questioning his future, following revelations of parties held in Downing Street, a fucking endless drip feed of this shit. Labour, the Lib Dems, the SNP and some of his own MPs are calling on him to resign. Well, I mean, there's no need to name drop the first three, is there? Of course they are. The opposition, of course, are calling on him to resign. Mr Johnson has insisted he will change the culture within Number 10 and focus on delivering the agenda that won him a landslide in the 2019 election. Well, fucking hell, he's left it late, hasn't he? He hasn't done it for the last 2 years. Why is he is he going to start now? Mr Armitage is co-founder of the hedge fund firm Egerton Capital and told the BBC's political Laura fucking rat bastard he found the current political situation tremendously upsetting. Yeah. He said he's a middle-of-the-road Conservative, Mr Armitage, and said he admired politicians on the left and the right. So obviously not that middle of the road, is he? If he admires all the fuckers on the left. He said the current global challenges require very serious, engaged politicians with a sense of purpose. It's not going to happen. I mean, seriously. Whether or not you hate or like Boris Johnson, do you think the alternatives are serious, engaged politicians? They're all the same. Ultimately, like I've said, we've had it too good for too long. And our leaders have rested on the laurels for decades. Starmer and Sturgeon and who's in charge of Lib Dems now, I don't even know. The carbon copies of Johnson. Political animals who stand for nothing and believe in anything and change their minds on a whim, depending where the wind blows, like a leaf in the breeze. These people have got no integrity, no backbone, and they just don't believe in anything. So serious, engaged politicians, by definition, they can't be serious and engaged if they change their mind on a whim, if they don't stand for anything. They're not serious, engaged politicians. They're career snake oil salesmen, and they're liars, and they believe in nothing. Stand for nothing, believe in anything is the mantra of the British political class. And they make me fucking puke. So we need a clear out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, isn't it weird how tribalism works? Because if ISIS fucking went on a rampage in the Houses of Parliament, you'd be horrified, wouldn't you? Be like, oh my God, we're under attack. If a fucking plumber called Dave did it, I'd probably fucking find it quite amusing. It's like, well, not really, I suppose. That's playing into your base nature. But you know what I'm saying? It is weird. It is weird how tribalism works. Because I'd be horrified if it was like the IRA or Al-Qaeda. But if it was a bloke called Bob from Leeds, I'd probably go, just another day. Wouldn't bother me that much. Because these people are fucking worms. It made me laugh today. John Major was on Twitter with a straight face saying, oh yeah, you know, the real problem of the last couple of years is we've harmed the credibility of politicians. Harmed the credibility of politicians. Hey, President. All right, Paz, how are you? Glad to see you still around. You never know with Paz. You never know if Susan's going to grab him by the plums. It reminds me, I remember once I was doing the dishes about fucking 20 years ago, and I was listening to Radio 2, and they had some politician on there, and he was going, oh, it was the expenses scandal. So how long ago was the expenses scandal? Do we know? That was exactly when it was. It was probably about 20 fucking years ago now. Can I Google it? Let's have a look. Expenses. I think it was about 20 fucking years ago. No, let's have a look. Expenses scandal. 2009. All right, not that fucking long. 20 years ago. Nearly. Fucking hell. It's a fair way off, innit? 2009. But I remember when this went off. 2009. So what? Fucking hell. 13 years. It's a while. I wasn't too far off. I remember when it happened, there was a bloke on Radio 2, and he was going, oh, the worst thing about the expenses scandal, you know, is it's ruined the reputation of the politicians. And, you know, normal people think politicians are good, noble, decent, kind, warm. He just started reeling them off. It went on for ages. I thought, like, fucking hell, he's over-egging the pudding, this country. He was like decent, noble, honest, pleasant, warm, charming, fucking anything nice. He was reeling them off. And I was like, you live in a fantasy land, mate. Everybody in the UK, I mean, think about it. If you say to somebody, if you went on Family Fortunes, there's a good idea. If you went on Family Fortunes, this is what I'm saying about the inhabiting alternative reality. If you went on Family Fortunes and the question was a job where the person doing it always lies, top answer, our survey says, would be politician. It's politicians and lawyers. They're the fucking two jobs where everybody knows all they do is fucking lie. And John Major goes on telly yesterday and says, oh, the real problem with this politics now, the way it's gone since Trump, is people don't trust politicians anymore. And I was like, the fact that you've said that proves that you're a fucking liar, because you know that you're lying and we know that you're lying. If you go on telly with a straight face and say people think politicians are good, decent, noble, honest people who never tell lies, you are a fucking liar. Everybody knows it. That is the big lie. Everybody knows it. So the fact that John Major goes on TV and says it proves he's a liar, even though we already knew he was a liar. So it's mad, isn't it? Yeah, we never trusted them. Never. Everybody knows it. Politicians have there's a good one. Politicians have ruined the reputation of politicians. Yes, they have. That's it. So, estate agents, yeah, but honestly, estate agents, if you ask, our survey says on fucking Family Fortunes, politicians would beat estate agents and lawyers, wouldn't they? Definitely. Everybody knows politicians are just lying fucking scum. So, yeah, politicians have harmed the reputation of politicians, thanks. Anyway, yeah, absolute worms. Right, I'm going to cut it short today because I'm fucking hanging out my arse. I'm getting old and boozing ruins me. I need to go away and drink 3 pints of water before my fucking. I feel like mum rather ever living. Like I've got lips like Weetabix, like just crusty face. Hi Ollie, bye Ollie. I'm off, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be normal. I'll have drank a couple of gallons of water. Should I bet on the Borough tonight? No, Boondock, you should never bet on the Borough. Joking aside, I'm sick of telling people, do not bet on Middlesbrough. They are the most inconsistent team ever. The year Middlesbrough got relegated from the Premier League is the same year that we beat Manchester United at Old Trafford, 3-2. Juninho scored. Famous game. Beat Man United at Old Trafford. Nobody was doing that. We did that. Same year we got relegated. They are the most inconsistent team ever. And if you've got any fucking sense, you will not bet on the Borough. That is my advice to anybody considering it. Locusade and Polos. All right, I'll give that a shot. Right, thanks for tuning in, boys and girls. I will come back tomorrow, and hopefully I will be a normal human by then. Mum rather ever living. Lips like Weetabix, that's me. Ravanelli was great. Yes, he fucking was. Right, I'm off. Don't sidetrack me with talk of football. Cheers, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, good night.